prokaryotic cells are stored in the cytoplasm in the form of inclusion bodies. These are not bound by any membrane system and live free in the cytoplasm. Example: phosphate granules, cytophysin granules, glycogen. Gas vacuoles are found in blue, green, and purple and green photosynthetic bacteria. Inclusion bodies reserve material inclusion body. Food. Astaghfirullah. Reserve material in prokaryotic cell are stored in cytoplasm. Stored food. Stored material or food stored in reserve material stored in cytoplasm. In the form of inclusion. They are not bound by any membrane system. आदेश मेरा नेट नहीं सही है. Prokaryotic cells are stored in prokaryotic cell. Reserve material in prokaryotic cell are stored in the cytoplasm in the form of inclusion body. Inclusion bodies material in prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell. Reserve material in prokaryotic cell are stored in cytoplasm in the form of inclusion body. These are not found by any membrane system, not membrane bound by any membrane system. Life free in the they are free, life free in cytoplasm. Example: phosphate granules, cytophysin granule, glycogen granules. Gas vacuoles are present in blue, green, and purple and green photosynthetic bacteria. The thick and tough capsule, lucid slimy layer. From rusting or collapsing. Structural support to prevent. Alex, all the best. Okay, am I the first one to wish? कल तुम्हारा टेस्ट है ना, ट्यूसडे है कल. Okay, Adarsh. Eukaryotic cell. The eukaryotes include protist, plant, animal, and fungi. In eukaryotic cell, there is an extensive compartmentalization of cytoplasm. Through presence of membrane-bound organelles. Eukaryotic cell possess an organized nucleus with a nuclear envelope. In addition, eukaryotic cells have a variety of complex locomotory and cytoskeletal structure. Eukaryotic cells have a variety of complex locomotory and Cytoskeletal structure. Eukaryotic cells have a variety of complex locomotory and cytoskeletal structure. In addition, eukaryotic cells have a variety of complex locomotory and cytoskeletal structures. Eukaryotic cells have a variety of complex locomotory and cytoskeletal structure. Locomotory and cytoskeletal structure. Locomotory and cytoskeletal. An elaborate network of filamentous proteinaceous structure consisting of microtubules. Filamentous proteinaceous structure consisting of microtubules, microfilament, and intermediate filament present in the cytoplasm is collectively referred to as cytoskeleton. Proteinaceous structure. The skeleton in cells are involved in many functions such as mechanical support, motility, maintenance of the cell. Filamentous protein structure. Filamentous proteinaceous structure. Protein, T-E-I, proteinaceous, N-A-E, naceous, N-A. Proteinaceous structure. Astaghfirullah, leave it. Proteinaceous structure. In addition, eukaryotic cells have a variety of complex locomotory and cytoskeletal structures. Cytoskeletal, proteinaceous structure. Okay, their genetic. In addition, eukaryotic cells have a variety of complex locomotory and cytoskeletal. And cytoskeletal structure. Their genetic material is organized into chromosome. All eukaryotic cells are not identical. All eukaryotic cells are not identical. Plant and animal cells are different. As the former possesses a cell wall, plastid, and a large central vacuole. Okay, cell wall, plastid, and large central vacuole, which are absent in animal cell. On the other hand, animal cells have centrioles, which are absent in most plants. Almost all plant. Okay. Vacuole, cell wall, and plastid, cell wall, and large central vacuole. Microvilli, plasma membrane. These are centriole, peroxisomes, lysosome, lysosomes. These are peroxisomes, centriole, plasma membrane, microvilli. Mitochondria, rough endoplasmic reticulum, cytoplasm, nucleus, nucleolus, nuclear envelope. Nucleus, nucleolus, nuclear envelope. Nucleus, nucleolus, nuclear envelope. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus. Microvilli, plasma membrane, centriole, peroxisomes, lysosome, ribosomes, mitochondria, rough endoplasmic reticulum, cytoplasm, nucleus, nucleolus, nuclear envelope, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus. Peroxisome, lysosome, ribosomes, mitochondria, rough endoplasmic reticulum, cytoplasm, nucleus, nucleolus, nuclear envelope, and smooth plasmic reticulum. This side is smooth endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus. Chloroplast, cytoplasm. These are chloroplast, cytoplasm, ribosomes. Chloroplast, cytoplasm, ribosomes, mitochondria, cell wall, middle lamella, vacuole, plasma membrane, vacuole, middle lamella, cell wall, mitochondria, ribosomes, chloroplast, cytoplasm, microtubules, plasmodesmatal connection, plasmodesmata, middle lamella, plasma membrane, cell wall. Golgi apparatus, nuclear envelope. Nucleus, nucleolus. Rough endoplasmic reticulum, lysosome, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, plasmodesmata, microtubule, okay, peroxisome, cytoplasm, chloroplast, ribosome, mitochondria, cell wall, middle lamella, vacuole, plasma membrane. Plasmodesmata, microtubule. London animal cell. Cell membrane. The detailed structure of membrane was studied only after advent of the electron microscope in 1950s. Electron microscope 1950s. Meanwhile, chemical studies on cell membrane, especially in human red blood cell (RBC), enabled the scientists to deduce the possible structure of plasma membrane. Chemical study on cell membrane, especially in human red blood cell, enabled the scientists to deduce the possible structure of plasma membrane. These studies showed that the cell membrane is mainly composed of lipids and protein. These studies showed that the cell membrane enabled the scientists to deduce the possible structure of plasma membrane protein. These studies showed that the cell membrane is mainly composed of lipids and protein. The major lipids are phospholipids, major lipid. The major lipid are phospholipid that are arranged in bilayer. आमा कति खाको त्यो हौरेको नखाने कुरा ठ्याक 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 गर्दै. The major lipids are phospholipid that are arranged in bilayer. These studies showed that the cell membrane is mainly composed of lipid and proteins. The major lipids are phospholipids that are arranged in bilayer. Astaghfirullah. The major lipids are phospholipids that are arranged in bilayer. Phospholipid arranged in bilayer. Phospholipid arranged in bilayer. Also, the lipids are arranged within the membrane. Lipids are arranged within the membrane. Lipids are side. Polar head, hydrophobic tail towards the inner part. Head. Lipid are arranged within the membrane with the polar head toward the outer side. Polar head, outer side. Hydrophobic tail, inner side, inner part. Okay. This ensure that the non-polar tail of saturated hydrocarbons, non-polar tail of saturated hydrocarbon is protected from the aqueous environment. In addition to phospholipid, membrane also contains cholesterol. In addition to phospholipids, membrane contains cholesterol. Membrane also contains cholesterol. Okay. Phospholipid bilayer, hydrophobic tail. These are head outward. Within the membrane, polar head. These are head, polar head outward. Polar head, non-polar tail. Non-polar tail. Polar head toward the outer side, and the hydrophobic tail towards the inner part. This ensures that the non-polar tail of saturated hydrocarbon is protected from the aqueous environment. In addition to phospholipids, membrane also contain cholesterol. Later biochemical investigation clearly revealed that cell membrane also possesses proteins and carbohydrate. Biochemical investigation revealed that cell membrane possesses proteins and carbohydrate. Cell membrane possesses protein and carbohydrate. The ratio of protein and lipid varies considerably in different cell type. In human beings, the membrane of the erythrocytes, RBC, has approximately 52% protein and 40% lipid. 52% protein and 40% lipid in RBC. Okay. Different. Depending on the ease of extraction, membrane protein can be classified as integral and peripheral. Ease of extraction, membrane proteins can be classified as integral and peripheral. Peripheral protein lies on the surface of the membrane, while the integral proteins are partially or totally buried in the membrane. Peripheral proteins lie on the surface membrane, while the integral protein are partially or totally buried in the membrane. Peripheral protein lie on the surface of the membrane, while integral protein are partially or totally buried in the membrane. Integral protein, okay, partially or totally buried in the membrane. Peripheral protein lie on the surface of the membrane. Fluid mosaic model of plasma membrane. This is a phospholipid bilayer. Integral protein, peripheral protein, the sugar, peripheral protein, sugar, cholesterol. Protein and carbohydrate. Cholesterol is their phospholipid, okay? Polar head, non-polar tail. हाय सर्वजीता, अभी बात नहीं करते हैं, ओके? 30 मिनट अभी भी है पढ़ने के लिए. An improved model of structure of cell membrane was proposed. Improved model of the structure of cell membrane. Model of structure of cell membrane was proposed by Singer and Nicholson. 1972. An improved model of structure of cell membrane was proposed by Singer and Nicholson as fluid mosaic model. Fluid mosaic model. Fluid mosaic model of plasma membrane. Singer and Nicholson, 1972. According to this, the quasi-fluid nature of lipid enables the lateral movement of proteins within the overall bilayer. The ability to move within the membrane is measured as its fluidity. An improved model of structure of cell membrane was proposed by Singer and Nicholson. An improved model of the structure of cell membrane was proposed by Singer and Nicholson, 1972. An improved model of the structure of cell membrane was proposed by Singer and Nicholson, 1972, widely accepted as fluid mosaic model. According to this, the quasi-fluid nature of lipid enables lateral movement of protein. Within the overall bilayer. This ability to move within the membrane is measured as its fluidity. The fluid nature of membrane is also important for the point of view of functions like cell growth, cell division, and intracellular junction, cell growth, formation. Okay, the fluid nature of membrane is also important for the point of view of functions like cell growth, formation of intercellular junction, secretion, endocytes, cell division. It's okay. No. One of the most important functions of plasma membrane is the transport of molecule across it. The membrane is selectively permeable to some molecules present on either side of it. Many molecules can move briefly across the membrane without any requirement of energy, and this is called the passive transport. Passive transport. So the unit of life. One of the most important functions of the plasma membrane is the transport of molecules across it. The membrane is selectively permeable to some molecule present on either side of it. Many molecules can move briefly across the membrane without any requirement of energy, and this is called passive transport. Astaghfirullah. I need help. Many across the membrane, and is called without requirement of energy, passive transport. Neutral solid. It's okay. Neutral solutes may move across the membrane by process of simple diffusion. That is neutral solute. Neutral solute may move across the membrane by the process of simple diffusion along the concentration gradient from higher concentration to lower concentration. That is simple diffusion. Neutral solute concentration gradient, higher concentration to lower concentration. Water may also move across membrane from higher to lower concentration. Movement of water by diffusion is called osmosis. Okay, as polar molecule cannot pass through the non-polar lipid bilayer. Polar molecule cannot pass through the carrier protein of the membrane to facilitate their transport. They require a carrier protein of the membrane or molecules are transported across the membrane against the concentration gradient, that is from lower to higher concentration. Such a transport is energy dependent. Process in which ATP is utilized and is called active transport. Sodium pump and potassium pump, K plus and Na plus pump. As the polar molecule cannot pass through the non-polar lipid bilayer, थैंक यू प्रताप, लेकिन मुझे आसमान को नहीं छूना है. As you may recall, a non-living rigid structure called the cell wall forms an outer covering for the plasma membrane of fungi and plants. Cell wall not only gives shape to the cell and protects the cell from mechanical damage and infection, gives shape to the cell, protects the cell from mechanical and damage and infection. It also helps in cell-to-cell interaction. Okay, cell wall protects the cell, protect the cell from infection or damage and infection. Okay, cell from mechanical damage and infection, give shape, helps cell to cell interaction, and provide barrier to undesirable cell wall provide barrier to undesirable macromolecule. It's okay ma, undesirable macromolecule. It also helps in cell-to-cell interaction and provide barrier to undesirable macromolecules. Cell wall not only gives shape to the cell and protects the cell from mechanical damage and infection, it also helps in cell-to-cell interaction and provides barrier to undesirable macromolecules. It also helps in cell-to-cell interaction and provide barrier to undesirable macromolecules. Algae have cell wall made up of cellulose, galactins and mannans. Algae have cell wall made up of cellulose, galactins and mannans. And minerals like calcium carbonate Cellulose, galactins, mannans and minerals like calcium carbonate, while in other plants it consists of cellulose, hemicellulose, pectins and proteins. The cell wall of young plant cell, the primary wall is capable of growth which gradually diminishes cellulose, mannans and galactins. Cellulose, galactins and mannans and minerals like calcium carbonate carbonate and minerals carbonate, while in other plants it consists of cellulose, hemicellulose, pectins and proteins. While in other plant it consists of cellulose, hemicellulose, pectins and proteins. The wall of a young plant cell, the primary wall is capable of growth. Cellulose, hemicellulose, pectin and protein. Protein. The cell wall of young plant. The primary wall is capable of growth. Primary wall is capable of growth. Cell wall in young plant, which gradually diminishes as the cell matures, and secondary wall is formed, which gradually diminishes as the cell matures, and secondary wall is formed on the inner side towards membrane side of the cell. Middle lamella is layer mainly of calcium pectate and which holds. Middle lamella is layer mainly of calcium pectate which holds or glues the different neighboring cells together. Holds or glues the different neighboring cells together. Middle lamella mainly of calcium pectate. The cell wall and middle lamella may be traversed by plasmodesmata which connect the cytoplasm of neighboring cell. Study of nucleus. Aeology. Cell wall in bacteria is made up of amino sugar. Cell wall in bacteria is made up of amino sugar. Okay. Gas vacuoles are found in blue, green and purple and green photosynthetic bacteria. ये हो गया, ये पोर्शन भी हो गया ना. It gives cell cytoskeletal. It gives cell shape, helps in motility. Cell shape helps in motility. Okay. Mechanical support, motility, maintenance of the cell shape. Okay. Mechanical support. Cell shape helps in motility. Mechanical support. Mechanical support. That's it. Lipid bilayer is non-polar. Non-polar lipid bilayer. Middle lamella is layer mainly of calcium pectate. Calcium pectate. Middle lamella is a layer mainly of calcium pectate, calcium pectate, okay, which holds or glue the different neighboring cells together. The cell wall and middle lamella may be transversed by plasmodesmata, which connects the cytoplasm of neighboring cell, which pectate, calcium pectate, middle lamella, calcium pectate, layer mainly of pectate. Endocytosis material moves into the cell. Okay, cholesterol, fluidity, cholesterol and fatty acid. The ability to move within the membrane is measured as its fluidity. Endomembrane system. Endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, lysosome, vacuole, and one more is there, right? Endoplasmic reticulum, no, just four. Golgi complex, lysosome and vacuole. There are four endomembrane system. Endomembrane system has four organelles: lysosome, vacuole, Golgi complex, and endoplasmic reticulum. Excuse me. Endomembrane system. While each of the membranous organelle is distinct in terms of endomembrane system. While each of the membranous organelle is distinct in terms of its endomembrane system. While each of the membranous organelles is distinct in terms of its structure and function. Many of these are considered together as an endomembrane system because their function are coordinated. They have coordinated function. Okay, endomembrane system. They are part of endomembrane system. As their functions are coordinated. The endomembrane system includes endoplasmic reticulum. The endomembrane system includes endoplasmic reticulum (ER), Golgi complex, lysosomes, and vacuoles. Endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosome, and vacuoles. Endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosome, and vacuoles. Since the function of the mitochondria, chloroplast, and peroxisomes are not coordinated with the above components, these are not considered as part of endomembrane system. They are not. Mitochondria, chloroplast, and peroxisomes are not coordinated with the above one. That's why they are not included in endomembrane system. It is endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body, Then we have other two. What are they? Endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body, body, lysosome, and vacuole. The endoplasmic reticulum (ER). Electron microscopic studies of eukaryotic cell. सुबह के 4 आवर इंक्लूड करें तो ये वाला से ना 5 और इसमें 8 मिनट बचा है, 8 मिनट के बाद होगा ब्रेक। अभी पढ़ते हैं, ओके। ये स्लॉट कंप्लीट हो गया तो 5 आवर कंप्लीट हो जाएगा।